ever pondered the inner workings of a psychopath or narcissist's mind? What makes them tick? Welcome to the intriguing and complex world of psychopathy and narcissism. These two personality disorders are often misunderstood and even romanticized in popular culture. However, they are far from glamorous, presenting a fascinating and intricate puzzle for psychology enthusiasts and everyday individuals alike. Psychopathy is a personality disorder characterized by enduring antisocial behavior, diminished empathy, and bold, disinhibited, and egotistical traits. Individuals with psychopathy can be charming and manipulative, often using these traits to their advantage without any regard for others' feelings or well-being. They lack remorse for their actions, making them capable of harmful behaviors without experiencing guilt. On the other hand, narcissism is a personality disorder marked by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Narcissists often have a grandiose sense of self and believe that they are superior to others. They crave admiration and struggle with criticism, often reacting with anger or disdain when their self-image is threatened. Understanding these disorders is crucial, not just for those with a keen interest in psychology, but for everyone. Why, you might ask? Well, these individuals are part of our society. They could be our colleagues, our friends, or even our family members. It's essential to have a basic understanding of these personality disorders to recognize the signs and safeguard ourselves from potential harm. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you understand about psychopathy and narcissism, the better equipped you are to navigate interactions with individuals who may have these disorders. It's not about labeling or stigmatizing, but rather about understanding the complexities of the human mind and promoting empathy and compassion for all, even those who struggle to reciprocate these feelings. Delve deeper into the minds of psychopaths and narcissists and unravel the signs that might help you identify them. Psychopaths often blend into society seamlessly, but what are the telltale signs? Diving into the world of psychopathy, it's important to understand that psychopaths are not necessarily the Hollywood-style villains we often imagine. They can be charming and charismatic, which makes them all the more difficult to identify. One of the key indicators of a psychopath is glibness, a superficial charm that is alluring yet lacks depth. It's like a well-rehearsed act, designed to captivate an audience. An example could be a person who always knows the right thing to say, but their words seem to lack genuine emotion or empathy. Next, consider pathological lying. This is a type of lying that goes beyond the occasional fib. It's chronic and compulsive. Think about someone who lies about their experiences, achievements, or capabilities with such conviction that it's almost believable, even when the truth is glaringly obvious. Now, let's talk about a rather chilling characteristic: a lack of remorse or guilt. For most of us, feeling guilt or remorse after doing something wrong is a natural reaction. However, a psychopath doesn't share this emotional response. They can hurt others, break rules, or cause harm without feeling any guilt. It's as if their moral compass is skewed or even missing entirely. Another sign is a grandiose sense of self-worth. Psychopaths often have an inflated view of their own importance or abilities. They may believe they are superior to others, and this belief is not based on achievements or abilities, but rather, it's a delusion of grandeur. Finally, consider impulsivity. Psychopaths often act on a whim, without thinking about the consequences. They may make rash decisions that put themselves or others at risk. Remember, these signs are not definitive proof. They are merely indicators that someone could be a psychopath. It's essential not to jump to conclusions based on these characteristics alone. After all, we all may exhibit some of these traits at times. However, a consistent pattern of these behaviors could be a sign of psychopathy. Narcissists, like psychopaths, can be hard to spot, but certain signs can give them away. The first sign of narcissism is grandiosity. This is an inflated sense of self-importance and a belief that they are superior to others. Imagine someone who constantly talks about their achievements, even when it's irrelevant to the conversation. They might embellish their accomplishments or even make them up entirely just to appear impressive. They believe they're unique and can only be understood by other exceptional people. In their world, they are the sun and everyone else revolves around them. Next, narcissists have a glaring need for admiration. They crave applause, compliments, and recognition, seeking constant validation to feed their ego. Picture someone who fishes for compliments and reacts negatively when they don't receive them. They may also exaggerate their talents and expect others to recognize them as superior. The third sign is a sense of entitlement. Narcissists expect special treatment and believe the rules don't apply to them. They demand excessive admiration and attention, and are often impatient or angry when they don't receive it. Imagine a person who cuts in line because they believe their time is more valuable than others, or someone who gets upset when they don't get the best seat at a restaurant, believing they deserve it more than anyone else. Lastly, narcissists often lack empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. This means they struggle to recognize and respect the feelings and needs of others. They are often dismissive or contemptuous of people's feelings. Picture someone who never asks about your day, or who brushes off your problems because they believe theirs are more important. These signs are not definitive proof of narcissism, as everyone can exhibit these behaviors from time to time. However, if someone consistently displays these traits, they may be a narcissist. Spotting these signs can help you navigate your interactions with potential narcissists. While distinct, psychopathy and narcissism do share some overlapping traits. Among these shared traits, two stand out prominently: the lack of empathy and a tendency to manipulate others. Let's start with the lack of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what makes us human, what allows us to connect with each other on a deep emotional level. However, both psychopaths and narcissists seem to lack this vital human trait. They struggle to understand the emotions of others and often disregard the feelings of those around them. For them, others are not individuals with feelings and emotions, but merely tools to be used for their own benefit. Now let's move on to the manipulative behavior. Both psychopaths and narcissists are notorious for their manipulative tactics. They are skilled at twisting situations and people to their advantage. They use charm, deceit, and even intimidation to get what they want. They can make you doubt your own perceptions and beliefs, making you more susceptible to their control. For instance, consider a scenario where you're in a relationship with a person who tends to dismiss your feelings, constantly shifting the blame onto you. They may charm you into believing that you're at fault, even when you're not. This is a classic manipulative tactic known as gaslighting, commonly used by both psychopaths and narcissists. Another shared trait is their grandiose sense of self. Both narcissists and psychopaths believe they are superior to others. They have an inflated self-image and believe they are entitled to special treatment. This grandiosity often leads them to exploit others without any remorse. But remember, while these traits overlap, psychopathy and narcissism are distinct conditions with unique characteristics. A person can display some of these traits without being a psychopath or a narcissist. It's the consistent pattern of these behaviors that might indicate a deeper issue. Understanding these overlaps can help us better identify and deal with individuals possessing these traits. It's crucial to be aware of these behaviors, not to label or stigmatize people, but to protect ourselves and promote healthier relationships. Understanding psychopaths and narcissists can seem daunting, but with knowledge comes power. We've peeled back the layers of these complex personalities, shedding light on their thought processes, behaviors, and the signs that can help us identify them. Recapping our journey, we first delved into the intriguing minds of psychopaths and narcissists. We learned that psychopaths often exhibit a lack of empathy, a disregard for right and wrong, and an inflated sense of self-worth. They can be charming and manipulative, using these traits to their advantage in social situations. Next, we turned our attention to narcissists, who also display an exaggerated sense of self-importance, but with a desperate need for constant admiration and attention. They lack empathy for others and are often preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, and beauty. Their relationships are typically superficial and serve only to boost their fragile ego. In the crossroads of psychopathy and narcissism, we found a dangerous intersection. Individuals who exhibit traits of both disorders can be particularly damaging, using manipulation and charm to exploit others for their own gain. But remember, not all psychopaths are narcissists, and not all narcissists are psychopaths. Each disorder has its own unique characteristics. Recognizing these signs is crucial, not to label or stigmatize, but to protect ourselves and others. It's important to remember that mental health disorders are complex and multifaceted. They aren't defined by a single trait or behavior, but rather a pattern of behaviors that persist over time. In everyday life, it's not uncommon to cross paths with individuals who exhibit some of these traits. Understanding them can help us navigate these interactions more effectively, maintaining our own mental and emotional well-being. The more you understand about these personalities, the better equipped you'll be to interact with them in a healthy way. Knowledge is power, after all.